So, today we're gonna go through The Snowball. Warren Buffett Ends the Business of Life by Alice Schroeder. I think. Must be. Kind of. I don't know. I don't care. And which I think basically is a biography of Warren Buffett, which is kind of interesting to me in terms of why didn't I already go through it? And did I already go through it? Because I don't really know. I can't tell. But I think I didn't. Anyway, Alice Schroeder, Humility Disarms. It might actually be kind of a collection of, rather small quotes, unquote quotes, or small bits of the whole book. So, let's see. I will be talking about pricing stocks, but I will not be talking about predicting their course of action next month or next year. Valuing is not the same as predicting. That's a good point. It really is, because we can't predict that. In the short run, the market is a voting machine. In the long run, it is a weighing machine. Yeah, I mean, if you buy something, if you use a certain amount of money that you basically can lose and you're investing it into things that, especially I would say, this is just my opinion, into things that are pretty low in price at this point in time, chances are there that it is going to be quite a lot of money in a few years. A few years meaning 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 10 years. Of course, we have to hold it. And of course, we continually have to, invest in it and whatnot so that we can use compound interest. And there is actually some type of effect, with a certain name, but I don't remember it right now. But yeah, of course, I think it is quite easy to buy something and then hold it for quite some time until it gets more and then sell it again. Of course, you just have to think about fees and the costs that you have when you sell it or when you buy it as well. And I don't know, I'm not saying that you're going to be a millionaire very quickly or rather easy. It's not quickly, but I think it's the whole concept is not too complicated. And yeah, weight counts eventually, but votes count in the short term, and it is a very undemocratic way of voting. Unfortunately, they have no literacy tests in terms of voting qualifications, as you've all learned. Yeah. I mean, every person can, well, not every person, it depends on the country you're living in, but a lot of people can vote. And of course, there's going to be some people that that maybe shouldn't quote, not quote, but vote. Interest rates, the cost of borrowing, are the price of when. They are to finance as gravity is to physics. As interest rates vary, the value of all financial assets, which are houses, stocks, or bonds, change, as if the price of birds have fluctuated. And that is why sometimes a bird in the hand is better than two birds in the bush, and sometimes two in the bush are better than one in the hand. Praised by name, criticized by category. About Munger and Buffett. They thought alike and had the same fascination with business as a puzzle worth spending a lifetime to solve. Both regarded rationality and honesty as the highest virtues. They liked to ponder the reasons for failure as a way of deducing, probably deducing the rules of success. And there is a quote by Charlie Munger, "Tell me where I'm going to die, so I won't go there." Well, that's a good point. About shoe button complex. My father commuted daily with the same group of men. One of them had managed to corner the market in shoe buttons. A really small market, but he had it all. He pontificated on every subject, all subjects imaginable. Cornering the market on shoe buttons made him an expert on everything. Warren and I, so Munger, which is a quote by Munger apparently, have always sensed it would be a big mistake to behave that way. To go all in a small market and be the best in that? Yeah. Well, obviously, when you're already in this position, it is amazing and it is great. If you have the whole market, if you if you're basically having a monopoly, and this is cool and great, even though, at least in Australia, it's the case that a company can't have a monopoly in a certain category. because there's going to be officials and there's going to be laws and shit and whatnot that this can't be the case and so on and so forth. But which also plays in a rather big role when it comes to acquiring other companies, and especially when you, because of this acquisition, I think that's the right word, really, really kind of get close a monopoly. Then officials can say, no, you just can't buy it. You're not allowed to. I don't know if it is the case as well in other countries or the United States in particular, but yeah, I think that, well, it kind of seems like there are two approaches. The first one is like this. It could be a small market, it could also be a big market, but you really focus on this small thing, on this one thing, and you really try to be the best at it. Whether it is actually about skills and about your capabilities and whatnot. I mean, one can really focus on writing. Okay, I'm gonna be the best writer in the field. Going to be the best writer when it comes to this and that and these and those. Don't necessarily have to be the best writer in the world, but maybe just in a certain category. When it comes to a certain way of writing, pieces that you might be writing, whatnot. On the other hand, you could diverse things, which I think is something that Buffett and Munger more focused on, or focused more on, which is like, okay, I'm going to be good at this, and I'm also going to be good at this and that and these and those, About Warren's circle of competence. Just wanted to say cycle, but he believed in what he called the circle of competence, drew a line around himself and stayed within the 3 subjects on which he would be recognized as an absolute expert: money, business, and his own life. Well, his own life, this good call, but I don't know, like, I think it is kind of it is basically what I meant before. I mean, I'm not going to only pick one thing, but I'm going to be a little bit diversified with things. And I would also say that there is nobody that really is just amazing in one subject and one thing and completely shit in everything else. We all have certain talents and we have multiple talents, Somebody might be good at sports and chemistry and whatnot, but so why would you only focus on sports, or why would you only focus on chemistry if you're good at multiple things? And of course, on the other hand, there's also things that we're not good at. There's things that we absolutely suck at, and the possibility and chance that we are gonna get good and maybe recognized in this particular space as well is gonna be pretty small. And so why would you focus on it? Doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you then focus on some things that you're really good at already and or talented, and you're then going to be one of the best in that field, or in these fields, just not only has to be one. For example, I wouldn't like to just be good at one thing, and I also am not good at only one thing. I do have interests in many things, and I also like doing many things, and I don't like doing one thing. And I think really a good choice on how to live one's life. Quite. Can I please switch things? Apparently not. I don't know what's going on there. It's just loading and loading and loading and loading, and someday it's gonna be fine. Now it's fine. Warren on the inner scorecard, which is going to be not the last one, but, the big question about how people behave is whether they have got an inner scorecard or an outer scorecard. It helps if you can be satisfied with an inner scorecard. I always pose it this way. I say, look, would you rather be the world's greatest lover but have everyone think you're the worst lover? Or would you rather be the world's worst lover, but have everyone think you're the world's greatest lover? Now, that's an interesting question. In teaching your kids, I think the lesson they're learning at a very, very early age is what their parents put the emphasis on. Yes, unfortunately. If all the emphasis is on what the world's going to think about you, forgetting about how you really behave, you'll wind up with an outer scorecard. Now, my dad, he was 100% inner scorecard guy. He was really a maverick, but he wasn't a maverick for the sake of being a maverick. He just didn't care what other people thought. My dad taught me how life should be lived. I've never seen anybody quite like him. I find it pretty interesting, that, also Jeff Bezos, one of his idols, was his grandpa, as far as I remember. It's pretty interesting that, certain people do have very amazing people in their life which are from family, or which are family. And I'd like to be such a person, one day for, I don't know, a nephew or maybe my own child or whatever. The Buffett family motto: spend less than you make, don't go into debt. That's a really, really good advice. Unfortunately, tons and tons and tons of people don't act on it. But we're going to read it the next time. So until then, bye-bye.